Live from our studios, here's Property TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge welcome to Property TV. My name's Andrew Reibelt from RealWay Property Consultants. And on today's program, we're going to have a brief overview on how some changes have been made in the last 10 years in real estate and how that has affected the consumer as well as the real estate agents. Now, before we go into that, here's Kevin Turner with the very latest in property news.
Thank you. Well, the Treasurer, Andrew Fraser, has announced recently that there'll be a $10,000 grant made to anyone buying a new built home. And in the same announcement, they said that any first home buyer wouldn't have to pay any stamp duty provided their purchase is under $600,000. Well, certainly when it comes to the $10,000 boost for new builds, that's great news for the struggling building industry. Let's talk more about the sales tax. It's great to see that it's been abolished for first home buyers. But when it comes to anyone who's not a first home buyer, and that's 85% of the market, they now have to pay double the stamp duty. Or as the Treasurer has said, they've simply removed the 50% subsidy that was in place. That's effective as from the 1st of August. This tax that we're talking about was described by the Treasurer only a few months ago as being a relic, and now we find that it's actually been doubled.
Thanks very much for the update, Kevin. Ladies and gentlemen, recently I was asked by a client about how the upcoming stamp duty changes will affect the property market. And it got me to thinking about the changes that I've seen in the last 12 years of my real estate career. Now, back in the late 90s, obviously, property prices were quite cheap, and there was the introduction of the first home buyers grant to stimulate the economy. Now, at that time, there was a huge influx of activity. Some other changes that we have seen has been the introduction of GST, which really caused quite a stir. But obviously now that has really simmered down and it's just part of our everyday life. Some other things that have changed is obviously the introduction of the internet. Now, in the late 90s, there was less than 5% of inquiry was coming the way of real estate agents via the internet. Now, that in our area now is up around 40%. So that has certainly been a big change. Other introductions such as YouTube and also Facebook have really changed the face of real estate as we know it. It has become much easily accessible in information for the consumer. And from an agent's perspective, obviously the running of an office has got more expensive with these changes. But overall, the stamp duty changes that are about to come on us in the 1st of August, I think will change things a little bit in the short term. But once everything is settled down, I don't think there will be too much of a blemish. From a first home buyer's perspective, there are no changes in the stamp duty allocations. And from a principal place of residence purchasing capacity, that can obviously be factored into in their loan capacity. So an investor, they still basically are the same, but if someone is moving from a new home to another, there are some increases. But overall, I think we'll see this come and go, as we've seen many other changes over the last 10 or 12 years, and I'm sure there will be many other changes in the future. So ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate if there are any questions about the stamp duty changes to give us a call on our office number. Now, before we go to that, here is this month's feature property.
This wonderfully presented home resides in one of the peninsula's true blue-chip locations and is only metres to the Scarborough waterfront. 3 generous-sized bedrooms, main with ensuite, are serviced by 2 separate living areas at the front and rear of the home, as well as a spacious formal dining room. Also included is an alfresco area off the spacious kitchen, plus plenty of undercover entertaining options. With low-maintenance gardens, this home is ready for you to move in today.
Ladies and gentlemen, a huge thank you for watching our latest edition of Property TV. Now, if you do have any other questions about any real estate matters or our feature property today, please visit our website, redcliffe.com.au, or give us a call on 3883 9999. Now, until next month, bye for now.